Hide and seek. Hi everyone. Hi all the Giant family. This is Brandon Joe from Global Marketing Team. I'm very happy and very fortunate to participate all the Seek development in the past few years. As you guys know, we're going to launch this awesome MVD very soon. So I'd like to invite the father of Seek, our Marcel Yang, to be here with us to go through all the detail and the context of the Seek. Let's welcome Marcel.
Thanks, Brandon. Hello, everyone. I'm Marcel. I'm the project manager behind this awesome new product, and I'm also category manager of kids and youth here at Giant. I'm really excited to share with you all the details and the background of Seek, our new product, and everything we've gone through in the past 3 years to bring this to fruition.
Thanks, Marcel. As you mentioned, we prepared several of the key questions to you. Please guide us, really diving into this unique Seek.
It'll be my pleasure.
So Marcel, my first question to you, could you talk a little bit about what motivated you to develop the Seek?
Sure. I remember when I was maybe 2 or 3 years old visiting Giant, I have this photo of me next to an old steel Pro Star racing road bike, and I still remember that to this day. What that tells me is there's something about road bikes and a kid that leaves an impression. Now, looking at the market situation lately, we know in Asia there's the burgeoning, quickly growing youth triathlon scene. We know in Europe there's a very mature, yet still growing road and cyclocross racing scene. And of course, in both North America and Europe, there are this explosion of gravel events. All of this points towards this growing opportunity for entire families and especially the kids to get into road, gravel, cyclocross, these drop bar types of riding experiences into the future. Now, for kids and youth, of course, we all know there's been a much more mature and well-established off-road riding scenario from cross-country to downhill. Compared to that, we believe that a road bike or a gravel bike offers a lower entry barrier for the parents and the family with less equipment to invest in overall, and the product itself is lighter and simpler bike to manage. But overall, going back to my personal story, a drop bar bike just looks cool for a kid. It's like the supercar version of a bicycle. So that's kind of the why.
Got it. Totally agree with you, Marcel. Because as I know, although the market is different around the world, however, if we have a pure youth drop bar bike, they can help kids to engage in the sports and share the time with family. And final, not only share the quality time, but also make themselves cool. It's awesome. So they will guide me to my second question to you. Okay, Marcel, my second question. Who do we build this new Seek for?
So when we looked at the kids and youth riding scenario, this is a bike that's best ridden with parents and family and friends, which means the age group is elementary school age, right? School grades 1 to 5-ish. When you think about age, that's 6 or 7 till 12 years old. That's the age during which the kids are still dependent on the parents to go out, to go riding and everything, and they are underserved at this moment. Even though there are substitute kids road bikes out there, we think there's such a big gap between what is available and what the kids really need. To make it even more technical, the rider height, the kid is usually anywhere between 130 centimeters tall to 150 centimeters tall. Body weight 26 to 45 kilograms, and their power output, I've done the measurements on my own kids, anywhere from 40 watts to 160 watts. So that's generally the target audience, the rider that we're designing Seek for.
Thank you, Marcel. It's awesome. I really have the same feeling because I am the 2 kids' fathers, and all the senior around tell me, seize the time, because the time the kids really depends on you is so short. So as a road cyclist, I'm passionate. I'm so glad to see the Seek because I can really image, I can really share the quality time with Lan, and also with the Seek to create a valuable memory with my kids. So awesome, let's jump into my third question. So Mateo, I think very critical. What kind of riding experience you want or does Seek unlock for the use?
First of all, we know the bike has to look fast and feel fast. And feeling fast is actually quickly accelerating. So I can share a little bit my firstborn, when she first rode a very light kid's bike, not even a road bike yet, but as soon as she hopped onto a light bike where as soon as that pedal goes down, bike goes forward, pushes her forward, all I heard was, hey! That giggle, that was the wow moment. For kids to understand and feel that kind of foot down, bike forward push, that's the essence of our first part of the Seek value. The second bit is actually control at high speed. We know a kid will only go at speed if they feel confident in controlling the bike, especially being able to slow down and turn. And the third bit, of course, it's good at climbing. Now this might sound really weird, but every kid, once they understand if you go up, there is a path to come down, and that's where the fun is, then they'll love the hills. And last but not least, kids do not behave as you intend them to. They're curious, they like to explore, and so this bike has to have some versatility built in so that they're not limited in their riding style and scenario and environment. So these are the four big pillars: quick acceleration, control at high speed, good at climbing, and a good degree of versatility. These are the four things that Seek really has to deliver.
Thanks, Marcel. As a marketing team, the asset won't lie. You know, our team filming your Seek with our kids in the Italian. Oh my God, I have to say, speed, control, efficiency, I saw lost kids boost their skill to another level. How fast they are riding and how great control they go descending. Our asset can prove, so amazing experience.
I'm glad.
Yeah, so let's jump into the question 4. So Marcel, with so many high-level experience that we just mentioned, could you talk about the key features of those bikes? It's lightweight and agile. What is the most important for the target audience? And how did you achieve the 2 goals?
Of course, Brandon. So first of all, we knew this bike had to be light, right? Everybody knows about the kids' body weight to their bike weight ratio discussion. So we knew weight mattered a lot, without sacrificing any of the control features. So first and foremost, for the frame, everybody talks about the frame, we actually chose to use our Alex SL material to create the lightest aluminum frame that we can. Now this is done for both performance characteristics. We're pretty good at making a lightweight aluminum material, at the same time keeping costs and pricing accessible enough for parents to be able to unlock this kind of ride experience for as many children as possible. In addition to the frame, we actually went with a tailor-made carbon advanced level fork. And that gives us the best strength to weight ratio with compliance for the kids when they're dealing with road vibrations, and stable control thanks to our dedicated geometry designs and cornering. All of this thanks to the strength to weight ratio and the stiffness it brings. All of this adds up to a total bike weight of 7.4 kilograms for the Seek 1 and then 8.1 kilograms for the Seek 2. And the bike rides agile. We've actually emulated the TCR ride experience, so everything from the snappy acceleration to the quick cornering, all of these details that make a Giant road bike, especially the TCR what it is, all of it condensed and then transferred to the kid riding experience.
Yeah, Marcel, it's really awesome. You know, my filming crew, when they film in Italy, they send a message to me. My God, Brandon, the weight is so spoiled. The kids look so spoiled because they never dreamed, you know, the used bike can be such a lightweight. And when they film the kids and they see the kids riding and uphilling so fast and the descending and the paddling, my God. You know, they told me they want to be the kids again. Okay, awesome. Let's jump into another important features. So Marcel, as you can see, beside the Liv and Angel, the key feature, all the things, I would say all the components on this bike are so unique. We call the use optimized components. Could you talk a little bit more about the use optimized components?
Of course. So, like I mentioned earlier, a key part of Seek being Seek is control at speed, and control to us was the key. In order to enable kids to exert control over themselves and the bike at that kind of riding scenario, we had to do a lot of detailed design and engineering, starting from the geometry. We'll get into that perhaps later. But the first thing is we've designed a bike with a low center of gravity for the kid, which means it gives them confidence to stay stable when they're at speed. The crank length, we've done a really short crank for the kids to enable them to ride at a stable body position and, again, exert their balance and control at low or high speeds. And the third bit is the cockpit setup, right? The cockpit gives all of your control, it starts there. So giving the kids a natural upper body position from their shoulder length, shoulder width, transposed to the bar width, all the way to the STI levers. Speaking of levers, we know much of the control over the bike comes from that contact point. It's their hands, which meant for this age children, their hands are small, their grip strength is low, which meant we had to rethink what was the right value combination and feature combination for a kid. We chose to go E-shifting across the board. Why? Because then you don't have to worry about lever throw, lever strength, hand strength, all of that. 2 buttons and you're done. Simple, direct for the kid. In addition, shifting is one thing. It's more important about braking. If a kid can be confident about controlling the bike's speed when they're going downhill or just reducing speed before a corner, that makes a world of difference. So we had a special design for small-handed shifters and lever and hood size, everything, smaller hoods, smaller palm size, and finger length. All of these things were considered. In addition, we actually redesigned a modulation curve for kids' road bikes in order to have the kid feel like they're riding top-tier brakes, as if you or I would, Brandon, on a small bike. They should feel about the same as we do. And that was a lot of our research and development time spent solving that small hand, tiny rider braking problem. In addition to the hands, of course, there's also the butt. And we've designed a grit-light core saddle for kids. And that not only takes into account the sit bone width and the tushy size, but also their body weight. I mentioned weight a little bit earlier. So we've retuned the foam density so that the kid feels the right amount of support and absorption. It's almost like tiny suspension for your butt. And of course, the all-new 650B wheel system in carbon and aluminum for different budget levels, but these are all optimized for a youth rider.
Yeah, thanks Marcel. You know, when we film in the Secret in the Italian, we invite the coach to really help us. And he shared with me that it is the first time he see the youth riding the Java road bike. And it's amazing to find the kids can handle the brake so well. They can, you know, touch the lever easier and the dropper. And also, beside the use optimized component, let me jump into another question for you. So beside the use optimized component, what about the use gear for use?
Of course, we didn't just think about making a bike available. We're thinking about the entire package and ride experience. So from the bike gear part of it, we've developed wheel systems in carbon and aluminum levels. In addition, we've developed a road performance tire and a gravel cyclocross type of tire, both made available to the little riders. And because of the kids' growth, we are also making available an entire series of stems, and they're actually very standard specification stems to help the kid along when they're going from using a 60 millimeter stem coming standard all the way up to 100 millimeter as they grow taller. In addition, all the accessories, front and rear lights, handlebar tapes, pedals for kids, as well as a side pull small water bottle cages for little kids that we have available in our gear program. In addition, stuff for the kids to wear. Of course, number one is always helmet. We've talked a lot about going at speed. You gotta protect that noggin, that head. In addition, you're riding out in the sun, we have available kid-sized sunglasses available, and of course, to look cool and complete that father-son, mother-daughter kind of look, jerseys.
Yeah, I have to say, the sunglasses for the youth is, oh my God.
People don't do that enough.
Yeah, don't. And after our filming, all these kids come to us and say, can I bring all the sunglasses with, give them the sunglasses? Oh, we need to say sorry to them because they are all samples, but really the sunglasses is so amazing. They look good on the kids' small face, and the kids wearing that look so cool. Echo to your motivation.
Gotta look cool.
Yeah. So, besides all the used components and the gears, let me ask you about the question about the fit. So myself, SICK is a used drop-out bike and never exist. How do you achieve the effortless fit on the SICK for use?
So for SICK, like most of our youth products, our philosophy is to optimize the fit for the smallest rider of the intended range. So in this case, 130 centimeters tall rider. In order to do that, we leveraged our compact road geometry design to lower the center of gravity and lower that standover height so that that tiny rider can hop on the bike very easily so that they're fit, they're ready to go right out the gate as soon as they hit that height. In addition, we chose to start the entire fit range with a shorter stem so that the kid has room to grow and use different longer stems as he or she grows to grow in with the bike, or rather the bike growing with him or her. The handlebar design is not fixed, right? We decided on a 320 millimeter hood width, but with a flare down to a 340 drop. This gives the kid a little bit more of a versatile set of riding positions and helps them kind of grow with it. And the third bit, we started the spec with a shorter crank at 130 millimeters. That can be switched out as the kid grows, should the need arise. And finally, of course, that grit light saddle is tailored for that small rider so that he or she feels really comfortable and confident as the riding gets longer. But of course, all of these are all adjustability features. One of the things that we were able to include is a quick reference fitting guide in terms of having the rider height gradients written already on the defused seat post. That helps the parents or the shop fit the kid really quickly on the go or at the shop, and then get the kid out riding with a good enough riding posture right out the gate.
Totally. Again, our asset and photos prove all your design because we invited 5 different kids. To do the filming with kids, we have Liv girls and the Giant boys. And that's so amazing with the proper stand length change. Oh my God, they look so great on the bike. The portion between the bike and the use are so fit. It's just like, kind of like a TCR and the Pro Riders resizing. They just let it ride. Again, I never see and never create an asset like this one. The use, drop out always photo looks a little bit weird, but on the SICK, I really find out the balance, the correct portion between the use and the bike. Amazing.
Thank you.
Let me jump into another question for you. So Marcel, with so many awesome features on the SICK, could you please share us the product line, the SICK you created for us?
Of course, Brandon. So before diving into the lineup of 2, I have to first say everything we've talked about so far, all of those core values of speed, weight, control, they're all retained throughout our lineup. We're just realizing them through different methods and different supply partners and spec. Diving in first, here is the Seek 1. It is our top tier model equipped with a 1x12 TRP Vistar e-shifting drivetrain and brake solution. Speaking of brakes, this is an entirely hydraulic disc brake system and paired with the 650B Giant SLR1 Aero wheel system with 40 rim height. Riding on these rims are our Giant Gavia Course Zero tubeless folding tire in 28 width. And in the package coming with the bike in our box is an additional Giant Crosscut Grip 1 tire in 35B width for gravel and cyclocross conditions.
Yeah, Marcel, the SICK 1 really a spoiled build, I have to say. So many awesome features and the pink fork, come on. How about the SICK 2? What's your build? Share with us.
Of course. So for the Seek 2, this is our second tier model meant to deliver all of this value in a bit more financially accessible package. The main differences with Seek 1 come in the group set. So for Seek 2, we have a 1x10 micro-shift e-shifting solution. It is still a 1x up front, but e-shifting in the rear. Now the interesting thing about Seek 2 is in order to keep the costs accessible and still deliver the braking curve, the kind of modulated feel for the kids, we have applied our Giant MPH hydraulic hybrid braking system in order to replicate that nice modulated feel in a small hand, lightweight package. And of course, different from the Seek 1 is the Seek 2 only comes with one set of tires, not 2, and that is the Giant Course Zero tubeless folding tire, also in 28 width.
Besides the Giant and Liv SICK, we Giant and Liv are total cycling experience providers. We have the following very important bike gear recommended for you. Well, on the helmet recommendation, we have the Road Pro and Elite and the Comp series that it can help our kids have a good experience and also protect their head, very important. And the sunglass recommended, we have the Giant Aria and Liv Lumia series. I recommend so much because when you image your boy and the girl can wear the same sunglasses as their parents, it is a fantastic experience they can have. The quality time they can share, and also the youth performance wear. We check a lot of the offering in the market. I have to say, the so-called youth optimization gears on the market is very terrible fit. However, the products, the wear, youth wear from our Giant and Liv can provide a perfect fit for the youth. Something you can find in our image. On the bike gear end, we also have tremendous offering for our SICK 1 and the SICK 2. Though the wheel on the SICK 2 have great enough, is high-end aluminum wheel, but if the parent really want to upgrade the wheel for their kids, to upgrade their performance, definitely we have the SL1 40 650B wheel system. You have all the great technology from the SLR1 series, VBL and the 40 T rigid and also the high stiffness, so improve the kids' riding experience. It's dedicated for use. And the tire, we have the Gavia Course Zero for the pavement and the Crosscut Grip for the gravel. The bar tab, we have the Stratus Pro and the Elite, which I love it so much. It provides a great grip experience and the touch is so great. On the pedal end, we have the Road Pro, Road Elite and the Road Comp serious pedal that is easy to upgrade, easy to use, we recommend the most. And the front light and the rear light, we recommend the Raycon headlight and the rear light to protect our kids' riding safety to another level. The final is wall bottom cage. We especially recommend the side-pull function wall bottom cage because it can ensure the kids when riding the bike can always in control, even when they are drinking, they are refill their hydration. Thanks, Marcel. It's really awesome because I think it is really a dad passion, a parent passion to build this bike out. Just like our core message code. This is youth movement. You create a bike that never exists in the market, and also you bring more kids on the driver bike. It's more safe, speed, control, and efficiency they will never experience before. So really awesome bike, and really appreciate the effort you bring to us.
Thank you, Brandon, and it's been our pleasure these past few years to bring this project into fruition. Everybody involved was super passionate, testing and retesting everything in order to get this dialed in the right way. So it's our pleasure, and we hope to see a lot of kids riding this thing on the road.
Awesome, thank you.